we got to leave the ass scratching fee in there because it's not going to scratch itself. You know.
Welcome to the closing table with the Money Guys, Sidney Young and Jared Parrish. This episode is being brought to you by Allura Financial, AlluraFinancial.com, your source for real estate investment funding. Now, presenting the Money Guys. All right. Welcome to the closing table with Money Guys. My name is Sidney Young.
And Jared Parrish.
We're the Money Guys, and we got
Yo
money. Man, welcome back. We took a break, I guess you can say, for a couple weeks.
Yeah, one
of us was broken. That's why we took a break.
COVID is a son of a bitch.
COVID bit my boy. You believe that?
Yep.
COVID took him down.
Yep, but I'm back.
He's
I'm back swinging.
He came over here coughing at everyone. Now we're all the same, all right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the first week. Just
and week 2. You know.
I got really used to the...
COVID took him down. But the good news is when you're one of the Money Guys, COVID can't hold you down.
No.
So, hey, check it out now. It is towards the end of January. It's just been crazy, man. Crazy.
26th day of the new year.
26th day. Wow. Mm-hmm. And, you know,
it still feels like a swift kick to the balls.
Well, that's because you just did the COVID thing.
That and everything else.
But, you know, we at Allura Financial said this year in 2021 we're going to make some record numbers. And so far, this month is almost over with, and we surpassed last year's numbers. Really proud of what we're doing as a team with Allura Financial. I don't want to turn this to Allura Financial commercial.
No,
but
I'm proud of where we're at.
Yeah, it's really expanded. Our entire team, some's here in the office with us, some's in our other office right next to us here. We're here in our office studio, rocking and rolling. Mm-hmm. And we're going to talk about something that we deal with daily, don't we? I would say daily. Yeah, no, we do it daily.
Yeah, but before we get into that.
Oh, that's right, our sponsor.
Yes, we actually have
a real sponsor.
A real sponsor. Lazy P Brewing Company is now the official beer of the closing table with the Money Guys.
Hey, talk about Lazy P.
Lazy P.
That's just not when you fall asleep drunk peeing, right? Okay.
No, Lazy P is actually named after a ranch here in Texas. It's a local Texas brewery. They are preparing for their grand opening coming up here in the next couple of months, which we'll make sure that we keep up with and announce. But I've tasted a lot of their beers, and I've got to tell you, I've been absolutely amazed. Okay,
Lazy P Brewing Company, the local company. If you wanted to sample, see what's all about, how do they go about doing it?
Well, when they do have their grand opening, they will have large taste testing and everything, and we're going to make sure we keep everyone up to date on that. We're going to have links to their Facebook page, so make sure you check out their Facebook page and keep up with any of the events that they may have, and they should be doing some other taste testing in some local restaurants throughout Houston.
That's pretty cool. Allura Financial sponsoring a brewing company.
Hell yeah.
Hey, do we get drinks like complimentary stuff?
Oh, yeah. How do you think we're getting paid?
You know, get free burgers for life. Woo! Got a deal.
Yeah. No, but we do get some beers.
Well, that's good because we like cold beers like the rest of America does.
Mm-hmm.
Now, back to our topic of the day.
Yes. So today we're going to be talking about how to deal with a difficult client.
Our clients aren't difficult,
do you have any experience with dealing with difficult clients, I've said?
You know, we have to keep the client happy. We have to keep our hedge fund happy. We have to keep the appraiser happy, the title company happy.
Yeah, a lot of times it does feel like that. Yeah, but there's ways to deal with difficult clients. We all have them.
Yeah.
I mean, in the industry, you're going to have them.
It's very similar to being in a relationship at certain difficult times in a relationship.
Yeah. I think the tips that we're going to be able to bring forth today are going to help you with arguments and relationships. But, I mean, this is going to be about your business. Whether you're a salesman somewhere, you own a business, I mean, you're dealing with a pissed off, difficult client.
But, you know,
here's some rules to
here's where my other side's going to come out. Because sometimes you deal with
you have another side?
Yeah, well, I got another side. Here's where, and then I dragged the body in. Here's where
Hey, just remember, if there's no body, it's just a missing person.
Put that on your bumper sticker.
This is not legal advice. By the way.
He's not an attorney. It's so funny. That is wrong, man. In so many ways. Okay, let's get past the legal advice we just got here. Responsibility. Sometimes a client will call you up and they're going off on you about this, and this, and you're sitting there thinking while they're talking, all of this wouldn't happen if you hadn't this. And you want to stream, you want to give them a response, say, if you'd have done what I said to do, we wouldn't be here today. And then you guys think, in personal life and business, yeah, you feel good when you're done saying that to someone because now you forced them to take responsibility for it. And I'm big on that. Mm-hmm. But did it help your cause or not?
I'm so glad that you said that because I didn't know you knew that. But it's so true because so many times we get wrapped up and we let emotions dictate what's going to happen without any of the foresight as far as what could happen after this, or are we even going to have to deal with this person again? So it's you have to think now, and you also have to have a little foresight.
But the flip side of that coin is if you don't force the other person to accept responsibility, and you allow them to do that to you in that sense, now will they control you on every aspect of the deal, and you got to eat it? Because I can't and will not do that.
Right. Well, with some of the tips that I put together today, this will help you take control of the conversation and the entire situation. So this way you can kind of mitigate some of the problems.
I'm going to learn something today. If I don't freaking like it, I'm going to freaking tell you.
We might, yeah. So starting with number one for me, and this is huge, is keep calm and be careful with your words.
It's sometimes hard to keep calm, depending on what the deal is.
Yeah, it can be very difficult to keep calm. But one thing that I try to do as far as keeping calm, what's the absolute worst possible thing that could happen? I mean, literally, think about it. Are you going to die? Are they literally going to kill you? No. Are you going to lose a client? Yeah, that's the worst possible case scenario is you're going to lose a client.
Or is the client going to say, you know what, I can't bullshit this guy no more. I have to shoot it straight with him.
Mm-hmm. That's funny because some people, depending on where their pride is, even though they understand, oh, shit, this guy's right and I'm in the wrong, their ego is too big for them to accept it.
Not on my calls.
And they'll continue.
Not on that phone over there, buddy.
Well, I mean, that's where some of these tips come in. But yeah, first thing, man, just keep calm and be selective with your words. And now, one of the things that can get your emotions overly aroused is when they start slinging insults.
What if they start cussing on the phone while they're talking to you? We've had that.
I let them go through it.
Really?
Yeah. I'll let them continue and go and do other things.
I turn around and cuss back in my conversation.
I don't. But there's something that you can add onto it. Now, this is your own little mental trick that you keep inside. Whatever insult that they may throw at you, like all salesmen are thieves.
Yeah.
In your mind, add these few words prior to what they said.
Yeah.
From my limited experience.
From my limited experience, all salesmen are thieves.
Yeah. It just kind of helps you understand.
I would tell them, you know what, from my limited experience, if you're accusing my staff of stealing something from you, piece of shit motherfucker, and I hang up on them.
And that's how you don't do it. Yeah, but if you add that in there, or, it's the same thing as they tell people who are going to do public speaking, just imagine everyone in their underwear. You just imagine them because they don't have a lot of experience dealing with this, and they're going to throw out a lot of superlatives.
But some people try to play bully with you on the phone.
Oh, they do, yeah.
I don't like people like that.
You may not like it, but they're still going to do it.
I'm not going to allow them to.
But this is how you break down a bully.
Okay, how do you break down a bully?
So you be specific and use some measurables.
Who?
So once again.
Submersibles.
Measurables. Some measurables.
Oh.
So like, for instance, all right, so you're dealing with someone, they say, oh, this never works.
Yeah.
That's when you could break down some measurables and say, well, it worked from this month to this month. You tried to do X, Y, and Z, and that worked. And so you're kind of just chipping away at at their argument.
Yeah.
It's like, no, it's not that it never works. It's just not working right now. Let's figure out what we have to do to move forward. And that was another thing too, is try to keep them focused on the end goal, because they'll sit there and bitch about this, that, and the other. They're going to go all over the place, and they're going to go, oh, this is wrong with this, and this is wrong with that. And you have to constantly come back to, well, what's it going to take to fix this? You have to pin them down to the end goal.
Yeah, but do you become friends with them, or do you stay the adversary? Sometimes
It depends. It depends on the whole scenario.
Okay, this morning's phone call, we won't go into specifics about it, but it was a difficult phone call.
Yeah.
Client actually was crying and very upset about something that took place, and we did our best to have compassion and say, yes, the other person that caused it happened, we know, and didn't badmouth that person at all, but we did say, maybe he misunderstood.
We try to reemphasize her confidence.
Yeah.
Okay. We acknowledged but did not agree.
Yeah, there you go. I like that.
That's another one, is you acknowledge but don't agree with it.
Yeah.
We
but the ultimate
issue.
responsibility, in my opinion, did come back on her.
Yeah.
For what was said.
Well, if she's listening, I don't want that to go anywhere. But we're going to get to some more of those here, and also use some little tips and phrases that might be able to help you get out of that. But first,
it is time for a commercial. We call them defunct commercials because they're businesses that are no longer in business. And why does that make us happy? I don't understand.
I think it's funny because we don't have to worry about paying to use the commercials or getting paid for the commercials.
That part. We'll be right back. Don't go away.
With this weekend coming up and all this great stuff at Builders Square, anything's possible. There was a cover-up at the White House, and I was in the middle of it. Halfway there, Mr. President.
Good.
Be done long before that barbecue with the Prime Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Allen.
Just doing my job, sir. You could save time, money, and maybe even your country. Builders Square, the warehouse and everything for your house. This Memorial.
Welcome back to Close Table with Money Guys. That was a defunct commercial. Now remember, the Close Table with Money Guys is brought to you by
Lazy P Brewing Company.
Lazy P Brewing Company, right here in the greater Houston area. Now, we're back, man.
We are back.
We're talking about difficult people, and this is very good for people, for not just business, relationships, dealing with difficult people. Now, let's talk about, you got your note stuff, but what about in a public situation where you're at a seminar, you're at a restaurant, and the people next to you are being very loud, rude, obnoxious. You're with your wife, your date, whatever, and you're hearing curse words, very strong natured coming from it. That's what do you do? What's that situation caused you to do?
I mean, you have to approach it with a calm demeanor and not trying to be an authoritarian, because that's where a lot of people do get that wrong. Is they'll try to approach something from the point of an authoritative position, and that can rile people's pride. Their ego. And that's then starts a conflict.
And then the other
you can't tell me what to do.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then the other issue is the guy thinks his shit don't stink. He's Mr. Muscle or whatever. Walker, hey man, my wife's here. Shut up, I'll kick your ass.
Yeah.
No, you're not.
If you approach it with more of a question as a request, because if you walk up to a table, hey man, y'all gonna have to shut the fuck up right now because y'all can't. Exactly. But if you show, hey man, I'm here with my wife and kids. Would y'all mind keeping it down?
Yeah, hello. There you go.
Different story. Approaching people with respect and courtesy, you're going to get a lot of the same thing back. Even if people are drunk.
Oh, it's almost impossible.
Because, I mean,
they're looking for conflict.
Yeah. But if you approach it with respect.
To a drunk guy.
Yes.
Dude.
I've done it plenty of times.
Have you?
Yeah.
Been drunk?
I've been drunk, but I've approached drunk people before with calm demeanor and respect, and more of a request as opposed to demanding it.
Yeah, but you're a good-sized guy. No one's going to mess with you.
Yeah, but if someone approaches more of a request, hey man, hey guys, I know y'all apart and everything. I'm here with my family and kids. Would y'all mind just keeping it down?
Yeah.
And typically you're gonna get a similar reaction. You might get someone that says, okay, go have fun with your family, piss off. That's when you go to management, or you just leave.
Well, there you go. And I guess bottom line is you put it off on management, but I don't know. In this world, we're in Houston, Texas, third largest city in the nation. Greater Houston area, along with Houston's a little over almost 7 million people in this area. We all got to live with each other. We're on the freeway together.
Can't we all just get along?
Can't we all just get along? You know, you get out there on the freeway. You for whatever purpose, the person in front of you is not driving the way you want, and you take it personal. You go, look at this idiot, or a few other words. But that person did not wake up that morning and say, I can't wait to go piss you off. And you go around them, or my favorite one's a guy goes around them and gets right in front of them, and your $60,000 truck and the $5,000 beater upper that's now behind you, and you want to slam on your brakes so that vehicle can hit you. What the hell kind of stupidity is that?
Oh, it's bad.
You know,
it's bad.
Houston
That's
year
one thing.
alone,
That's one thing in Houston is the road rage.
It's bad.
It's bad.
They're shooting people out there.
Yeah.
209 shootings last year in Houston on road rage, just on the freeways. That's a lot.
Insane.
But
getting back to, we're dealing with difficult clients.
It's attitude, man.
It is attitude. But let's say you get a client that calls you and they're mad about the product or service that you sold them.
Well, it's their problem. I got a good product or service. What the hell? Shit.
But I mean, acknowledge that happens.
Yeah.
You know, you'll have people, they're going to call you, and I want to say probably 75% of the time that when they call, they're not calling like what I just said about dealing with the guys at a drunk table. They're not calling with a request, being polite, being calm about it. They're calling you after they're already pissed off.
Yeah.
And that's where it's on you to bring it down a notch.
Yeah.
You know, that's where you have to take control over it. They're going to call you this, that, and the other. They're going to call you a bunch of names. Maintain calm
That's
demeanor.
a tough one for me.
It is. You just have to let it go.
I come from the school where if you swing at me, I swing back. I don't know. That's a tough one.
Yeah, I've always been good at just remaining calm.
Really?
Because I think what's the worst thing that's going to happen? They're going to get pissed off. They're going to call me every name in the book because in the back of my mind, I use that.
You
And
remember the deal
if I
we-
keep calm, and then at the end of it, I can remind them, remember how you called me and you were saying
He's
calling
good
me
at
this, that,
this.
and the other?
I blow up too quick. We had a deal sometime last year. I won't even mention names. Where we stood to make about $7,500 this
Oh,
deal,
yeah.
and this woman was extremely difficult. She wanted an apology from the title company, all just little minute stuff. And I said, screw that. I said, tell her to stick that deal up. You know where. Mr. Excellent here said, no, we're going to calm down and we're going to do this deal, and we did the deal.
Yeah. The best guy that I've ever met that can handle problematic clients, and we should probably try to get him on the show one day. His name's Oliver Calderon.
Oh, Ollie?
Yeah. He works with hospice now.
Don't call him Ollie. Piss him off.
He works with hospice now. But I'm telling you, not only – because you think a lot of times people with very calm demeanor are just pushovers. No, not even close.
Really?
He's good at calmly taking control over the situation. And a lot of times you're just like, oh, how did he get away with saying that?
You know, but it's all in demeanor. You know, by the time that particular deal had come to the actual closing, you were her best friend.
Yeah.
And I was her worst enemy. It just, you know.
Another good thing that you can ask them, you know, amidst all this, because if they keep getting off track and wanting to complain about this and yelling about this and calling you a liar here and doing this, ask them just a straight question. Ma'am or sir, do you want me to help you with this? Do you want me to help get this corrected? And see what they say. If they say yes, then you could say, now it's your opportunity to demand something. Okay, if you want me to help you with this, let's just try to get through this calmly, and let's figure out a solution instead of just constantly arguing about it. You know, or I like the question, what, in your opinion, is it going to take to resolve this issue?
You know? So,
I mean, it cuts out the bullshit.
and you kind of did a sales tactic there. You took an issue and took control of it by asking them questions about it.
Yes.
And by asking questions about it, you switched their train of thought to, I'm going to yell at you, to now I got to focus on the question and answer it.
And I like spinning a lot of the complaints into jokes. Like, I'm going to give you an example. I was talking to one of our clients the other day.
Yeah.
And he was wanting a quote. He's a big multi-million-dollar guy. You know what I'm talking
Oh,
about?
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, yeah.
And
yeah, he's big.
Well, he started complaining about the different fees that are associated with some of the loans. All loans are going to have a bunch of fees.
yeah.
There's just no way around it. And one of the things he was mentioning, and you could hear in the tone of his voice, he's pissed off. He's like, you got your processing fee and your underwriting fee and your ass scratching fee. And I said, well, we got to leave the ass scratching fee in there because it's not going to scratch itself. Adding that, and then it got him to laugh, and being able to get them to laugh is gonna bring down the anxiety.
That was smart. Yeah.
So that stuff always helps. I mean, try to make a joke out of something, to where it kind of brings you closer to the middle, to where you're kind of on the same side.
Well, see, you're smart enough to know there's psychology behind this process, and most of us lose focus on the psychology part of it as the process takes place. We're on the attitude part of it.
Yes, because emotions can take over.
Yeah,
and that's where things go wrong. Like I told you, I was watching a lot of videos. Well, there's a YouTube channel, which I'll give them credit, called Audit the Audit. And they'll audit police interactions. Yeah. And I mean, I've learned a number of things from that, because there are some police officers that, how do they phrase it? They utilize de-escalation tactics.
Yeah,
how to de-escalate the issue.
Yeah,
and some police officers don't.
Yeah.
But you can go check out some of those. Those are pretty interesting.
Some police officers know the section of the jail where the camera doesn't cover. Did I say out loud?
Yeah, now with the body cameras and everything.
What's that piece of tape on the floor? Oh, don't worry about it. Just walk over there.
That's a good one. That's good. Well, we're at the 20-minute mark.
Hey, it's time for another T-Fun commercial. Don't go away. We're right back.
If you're trying to decide how much power you need, how much speed, if you're trying to decide how many megabytes or gigabytes, or even what a gigabyte is, and if you're trying to decide what's the right price to pay, there's only one decision to make: Computer City, where you'll get Microsoft's Windows 95 with full, fast, 32-bit multi-threading, multitasking, and one-button application access. Computer City. You can't make a wrong decision when you go to the right store.
That was a defunker, man. He smells.
We put the funk in the defunk.
Welcome back to the final section, the time thing, whatever it's called, for the closing table.
Yeah. Now, one of my favorite ways to de-escalate.
And you have a lot of favorite ways.
Oh, yeah, a lot of favorite ways.
Sleeping, drinking, driving. Yeah.
Here's a way if you've got someone who's irate, and you could just stop it in its tracks.
Okay, before you go any further, which one's more difficult, men or women?
Ooh, I would say women.
I hate to say it. I would
say women.
You women sometimes can be really hard to deal with on the phone.
But there's a lot of men as well. Just in my experience, women were a little bit more difficult.
Man, they scare me sometimes, and I don't.
And and it has nothing to do with intelligence, nothing to do like that. They're just very emotional people.
I think women are sharper intellectually, and they're more advanced to verbally combat an argument than men.
All right, for one, women are a lot better at arguments than men.
Okay, I agree with that one.
Yeah, they remember everything.
Oh my God. 6 years ago, 3 p.m.
You looked at her tits. I could tell.
Did I? I don't remember. Okay, I'm getting in trouble for that one. But go ahead.
Anyway, but one thing that can really stop a conflict in its tracks is taking responsibility.
Yeah, it can.
Even if it wasn't yours, because I've done this before. I've had people call me, like with my insurance agency. Yeah. I've had people call me, and they're just ripping. From the moment I answer the phone, they're just ripping me a new asshole. And when I say, you know what, this is completely my fault. You could hear the brakes. There's and I go into it, and I say,
but was it your fault?
Not always, no.
And you take responsibility for it.
You know why?
Why?
People will yell at you when you're blaming it on someone else, because they're trying to pair up with you, and they don't have a problem yelling at you because they did it.
Not me. I put that third person on the phone.
Well,
I've done it hundreds of times.
But what I'm saying is, and usually when you put that third person on the phone,
it
calms down.
Absolutely,
because
it does.
people are not comfortable directly confronting the person with.
I've had people say, "Hold on, let me get him on the phone. We get this squared."
No,
I don't want to talk to him.
Yeah, I don't want to
Wait
talk
a minute,
to him.
you freaking coward motherfucker.
Exactly. So that's why I'll take responsibility for things and say, "Hey, this is completely my fault. This is where I went wrong, and
Not me.
And then it's amazing because what they'll do then is, oh, you know what? No, I understand. No, it's okay. I get it. No. Yeah, you made a mistake. I understand. People do not like to confront someone they have a problem with.
I do.
You're different.
No. You
are far from normal.
But here's the thing, man. In business, in real estate, you're going to have issues pop up. You're going to have lots of things pop up. You got to deal with them. Mm-hmm. Now, is Allure Financial so prosperous that we don't need people's business? We ain't got to eat crap? No. We eat crap. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, we can't have people calling us up with blatant lies and expecting us to eat that. We don't do that.
Yeah, no. Like people calling us saying that we screwed them over for one thing or another. It's like, no, we didn't.
I've never had anybody call me and say that.
Yeah, you have.
No, I've had people call up and complain about the appraisal number. I don't control the appraisal.
No.
An appraiser does it, a state licensed appraiser. Mm-hmm. And then what do they try and do? Well, he did the appraisal wrong. Well, he's a state licensed appraiser.
Does he not know what he's doing?
Yeah, does he not know what he's doing? But things like that. We never had anybody call us up because of what we do. It's always because of an appraiser, title company didn't close on time.
Yeah, and I always think it's funny how they always call everyone idiots. They're like, they are just the biggest idiot of it.
Do they not know what they're doing? Let's see. He passed the test, been an appraiser for 28 years. Probably not. No, you're smarter than them.
If he's been successful this entire time.
So,
you call somebody out on a mistake, but saying that they're a complete moron or an idiot, or they do that with politicians too. Oh, that she's just an idiot. That's just a complete moron. Well, no. To reach that level of office, you got to have something rolling around upstairs.
But there are certain people who are experts at everything.
Yeah,
and they're truly experts at very limited things. Mm-hmm. And to sit there, the title company didn't. Well, it is freaking 6:00 in the afternoon. Do you want me to drive down there, break in, and put them at gunpoint and make them close your deal? What do you want me to do?
Yeah, exactly what I want you to do.
Hey, why are we having this conversation? I don't control these things.
But then we come down to when all else fails. If you've got someone that is just so irate and they're not being reasonable at all, mm-hmm. you got to fire the client.
Oh, the takeaway. How many times have we done this and they come back? And then do you accept them when they come back?
Oh, yeah. That's happened. But you have to take in consideration, is this worth it? Mm-hmm. Is this worth it? What's the worst thing that's going to happen? Remember I said, what's the worst thing that's going to happen? But is it worth it to you mm-hmm. to make $500 on something mm-hmm. and have them just berate you and treat you like total shit?
Hell no. For $500, hell no.
No. And so that's where you have to know your own value.
Change it to $5,000, we'll probably eat a little more shit.
Yeah, but then you can tell them, listen, obviously you're upset. I'm willing to help you with this. You're going to have to calm down. If you want to call me back when you're calm. Okay.
Normally when we have that conversation, I'm like you. I always blame the third person. I said, that freaking Jared, man. He's out at that brewery place all the time drinking. I apologize for everything he told you.
I used to do that, but that never calms them down because it gives them an open door to just constantly bitch about everything else.
Yeah, I know. So
but when I say, listen, this is totally my fault. They're like, it flips the whole thing.
Well,
people don't expect it.
You're good at that. He's a very good negotiator. Give us a call. Be a nice, peaceful, calm call. 833-896-6639. That's Allure Financial. Talk about your real estate investment needs.
Yeah.
Now
let's call today.
Let's hold hands.
Let's talk about what's on your mind.
Let's talk about it. It's so nice. All right, this has been our first show back since Jared got the COVID. Yeah. And we're going to do another show on Thursday, right?
Yes, we are on Thursday.
Okay, yeah. Well, we will see you at the end of the week. Don't go away.